everyone, it's Karen with Yes Please Paper Crafts, and I'm back for part 2 of the washi tape storage and organization. Now this video I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of projects, a few tips, and then also my reference guide that I had created to organize my washi tape. So let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to share with you this particular scrapbook page that I made. I took a class with Nicole Jones 911 called Scrapathon 3, and I took that class last year, and it was such a fun class. And they are going to be having another Scrapathon 4 starting on October the 1st, which is next week, and I'm super excited about taking that class again. It was so much fun, and I got so many layouts completed. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. So Nicole had showed us some techniques with washi tape, and one of them was to create a background using washi tape. And so I created this background, and I just took a white piece of cardstock and I put strips of washi tape, and yeah, I think this came out really cool and just a fun way to use some washi tape. And this was a really fun layout to create. So that is my favorite scrapbook page I've ever done with washi tape. And let me share with you a card I made. This card I made several years ago when I figured out a way to create embellishments using washi tape and plastic. So I used an acetate plastic. It's really thin plastic, and I just put strips of washi tape on the plastic and then used a die to cut out different things like feathers and flowers and all different kinds of shapes. And so let me see if I can hold this up to the camera so that you can kind of see. It is quite different from using washi tape on paper, and it gives a really cool effect. I have a video that I shared where I showed how I did this, and I will put a link to that video in the description below if you're interested in checking that out. Okay, so those are my two favorite projects I've ever done with washi tape. I just love washi tape. I have a ton of it, so I wanted to share a couple of tips with you, and the first one actually is not really washi tape. So I don't know if you guys, when you buy the big tubes of washi tape from like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or different places, a lot of times you get this type of tape. It's really not a washi tape. I guess it is a paper tape, but it has a backing on it. And so they don't stay closed. They kind of come open, and it's really hard to keep them kind of organized because they're always coming, you know, open and loose, kind of like ribbon. It just flies off this roll. And so my sister had given me these rubber bands, and I think this came in a kid's jewelry making kit. It was like to make bracelets or something that my niece had, and she didn't want it anymore, so my sister kind of gifted it to me. And these are coming in really handy for different things. I originally thought about using them for border strips because Janet, our RTS Scrapbooking, she organizes her border strips, and she puts little rubber bands around those to kind of keep them organized and contained. And so I had these little rubber bands, and I thought, well, I would try that because I've tried all kinds of different things, and I could not figure out a way to make these stay closed. And so I came up with this, and it's working out pretty good. You just take this little rubber band and put it around the roll, and it stays on pretty good. Every once in a while it'll fall off, but for the most part it keeps it on the roll. And so I love doing that, and I just wanted to share that with you. So if you get these little rubber bands, that's really good for keeping these rolls contained, the ones that have that backing on them. So the other thing I wanted to share with you that's not really washi, I had done a video a couple weeks ago where I shared this stuff called thread net, and it's something that people use when they are sewing or doing embroidery that you can put around your threads. I'm going to show you this. I didn't actually show it in the video, but you take this thread net and you put it around your thread, and not only does it keep the thread from unwinding from your spool, but it also helps when you're sewing because it keeps the sewing machine from pulling the thread too fast and getting it tangled. So that's what it's meant to be used for, but I decided that I was going to use it to contain my ribbon. So let me go ahead and grab a ribbon roll because I forgot to do that. Okay, so this is a roll of ribbon that I have, and what I do is I just cut a piece of this thread net and I put it around the roll to keep the roll from falling off. And you can see here, this one I really needed to put one on there. And what you do here is you just cut a piece of this thread net and then put it around the roll. And the reason why I'm showing you this again is because I missed telling y'all about this one thing. So you just put it around and it keeps it from falling off. I also use these thread nets to go around things like this. This is like, you know, the pack that you get from the store that has a bunch of ribbon on it. You can actually take this thread net and it expands quite a bit, and it will fit over this as well. And so when I want to use this ribbon, I just take this off and I can unroll the ribbon. And when I'm done using it, I just make sure it's all rolled back up and I just put this back on, and it will keep it from coming off the roll. How cool is that, right? So if you're interested in purchasing some of this thread net, I will put a link. I got this off of Amazon. I'll put a link to the couple ones that I bought. I have this one, which I really like. It's really nice, and I think it's more expensive though. I also have this one, which comes in, it's one long roll, and it works just as well. So either one of them will work. I just really prefer this one because it's a little bit easier to use. It's flat, and this is kind of curled up, folded up. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with y'all real quick because I missed telling y'all about doing this in that other video. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and talk about one more tip, and then I'm going to show you the reference guide. Okay, so one of the things I like to do is if I have a washi tape that I want to just take part of it, like this one. I got a couple of these rolls of washi tape at Michael's on clearance. I think they were like 25 cents. And sometimes I like to use this on a project, but this green part or the numbers don't work, or sometimes I just like to use the gold part. And what you can do is you can actually put this on your paper trimmer and you can trim it down. And if you just get it lined up, I love this Fiskars paper trimmer because it has this wire guide, and so I can see exactly where I'm going to be trimming this. But I can trim this down, and then I can just use this piece that is just the stripe. And then I have this piece left over as well I could use on a project. So I just wanted to give y'all show you that real quick. You can also do it on things like if you have this washi tape, but you only want half of it or a quarter of it, you can do it with wider washi tape and cut it down and make it smaller. And so that's fun, a different way to use your washi to kind of extend the use. If you get these wider rolls, you can actually make smaller washi. Okay, so that's all the tips I had for you guys. Let me go ahead and share with you my reference guide. Now, in part one of the washi storage and organization, I did share a little bit of this book, but I thought it would be good for me to kind of just talk about how I created this and also how it is organized. So I like the Totally Tiffany 4-section system, which is the 4 sections are alphanumeric, the rainbow, the seasons or the calendar year, and also any themes that you want to organize your things by. And so what I did here is I have my rainbow first, and you can see here I have black, pink, red, orange, and I have all this washi tape by color. And let me just kind of flip through a couple of these pages. On the black one, I put some brown and whites and creams because I don't really have a lot of this colors, and so I just didn't want a section for that, so I just put that separately. But then I have blacks and pink and red and yellow. Oh, I skipped over orange. I have orange, yellow, green. And so it's just a really cool way of having a reference guide for your washi to be able to see what you have, and you can kind of take this to your workspace and use it to look for a washi that would match your project. So I have this by color. I also have it by the calendar year. So once we get to the purple here, then you'll see that I have spring, summer, fall, and winter. And so I have things here like Valentine's Day. In summer, I have some summer themed washi and 4th of July. Fall, and this is Halloween, and then we have Christmas. And then after that I have alpha and words. So here I have things that are words and alpha. I haven't completely finished reorganizing this because originally when I did this book 3 years ago, I didn't have separate themes. I just had one category for everything. And so I've been actually going through and pulling, and you can see here this paper's ripped. I've been pulling stuff off and created all these different categories. And this follows along the same themes that I use in my scrap rack and that I also use with my paper pads. So I have themes like animals, birthday, food and drink. And you can see here some of these pages I'm still trying to work on, trying to move some things around. I was finding that I had so much washi tape that it was really hard to find things because I had it all under one category. And so I did create a category called Other because I do have some things that don't really fit in any of my themes. And so I have a theme called Other, and I just stick whatever doesn't fit in this particular theme. So then I have pets, and I haven't moved the stuff onto that one yet. And then I have this category called stripes, and really what's in here is stripes and polka dots and chevrons and any kind of pattern that has multiple colors in it. So, you know, it doesn't really go into the color theme, but it'll go into this kind of geometric shapes, you know, anything like that, dots and stripes and whatnot. Then I have travel, Bible journaling, which I haven't moved the washi tape for that one yet. I have one for planning. And then I have some specialty things back here. I have glitter, and then also have, this is fabric tape. And then I have some foil. And then back here I have a category called collections. And these are washi tape that came as a collection, as part of a collection. And I'm keeping it by manufacturer and collection name until because I have paper and ephemera and stickers and chipboard that goes with this. I just wanted to keep it separate so that when I want to use this collection, then I know exactly where this washi tape is stored. Okay, so now that you've seen my book, let me talk a little bit about how I actually use this reference guide. It started out just as a way for me to kind of like see what the washi tape looks like, because it's really difficult to tell what washi tape looks like, especially if you have one that has, well, even like this with the little fruit, because you're only going to see a small part of it on the roll and then it overlaps, and it's really difficult to kind of get an idea of what that washi really looks like when it's on the roll. And so about 3 years ago, I had gotten these happy planners on sale. They were clearanced out because they were for, I think they were for 2015 or 2000, I think it was 2015, and I got them in 2016, I think. And so anyway, they had them on clearance. I think it was at Michael's, and I got them for just a few dollars. And you know, just the rings themselves are quite expensive if you buy them individually. So I thought, well, that's a good deal because it comes with the cover. It has these pages, and I'm not really going to use it for the calendar because the calendar is not going to work. But I have the ring and the cover and the pages that I could use. And so I'm using one of these books for these planners for my washi tape, but I have another one that I'm using to kind of to inventory my die cuts, my dies. And that's something I just started, and I don't really have a lot of that done yet. That's going to take a long time. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how I'm actually using this as a reference guide. So if I go over to this category called stripes, this particular bin right here came from my Alex Drawer unit. And in the next video that I'm going to be doing, which is part 3, I'm going to be sharing with you the Alex Drawer units and all of the bins that I'm using and how I actually have that organized. So this is a bin that I took out of that Alex Drawer unit, and this is the reference number, and this means Alex Drawer number 3, and the A means bin A. So I kind of know that this is what this is called. Now each one of the washi tapes has on the inside that number. So it says, let me see if I can get it in there so you can see it. Maybe, yeah, A3-1 for row 1, -1 for washi tape 1 and then A for bin A. And originally when I was doing this, I forgot about putting the bin number, so that's how the A ended up at the end. But let me just give you an idea how this works. If I go here and I decide I want to use this washi, it is in Alex drawer 3, row number 2, and it's the first washi, and it's in bin A. And so I can go right to my drawer and be able to find this washi tape. The other thing that's really cool about it is once I have used this washi tape and I'm ready to put it away, I know exactly where it goes when I'm ready to put it away. So I know exactly where to put it back. So that's really awesome. I wanted to share with you also a couple of things with when I'm putting things into this book. And one of the things that I'm challenged with is that I started this book, and you will notice that most of the things in this book do not have these reference numbers. And so I would say if you have washi tape and you are thinking about doing any kind of a reference guide or organization, start now, because it's painful to have to go back and try to figure out where all this washi is stored and which one is which and to find it. So I'm going row by row by row, and like I'll take this one out and then I have to figure out where in my book is it. Well, this one was pretty easy to find, so it's right here. And then I will take and write the number on there. So this is going to be row 4. So it's going to be A3 for Alex drawer number 3, row 4, tape number 1, and bin A. And so I wrote that in there. You see that? Okay, so I can put that one back. And then I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm just going to write that here. It's, oops, I put the wrong one. A3. That's the only bad thing about writing with the Sharpie, but I can't write with pencil on this washi tape. So I am using a Sharpie, and if I make a mistake, that's going to be bad. So this is A3, and it's row number 4, the first washi, and bin A. So that's what I'm doing to try to reference between where I have it stored, and then also, you know, how it's organized. So here it's actually organized by stripes. So if I'm looking for a stripe, I can go to this category in this reference guide and look through the stripes and find the one I want, and then I'll be able to know exactly where to go and get it. Now, one of the other things I wanted to mention is if you do have things that could go into multiple categories, there's nothing stopping me from going and putting it in multiple categories. So I'm going to show you, like, for instance, if I wanted to put this particular one here in the blue, I could not only put it in the stripes, but I could also put a strip of it in blue. And so that way, if I'm looking through blue washi tape, it shows up here as well. So I think that's, you know, kind of a cool way. You can actually put it into multiple categories in this reference guide. And so, because sometimes you might be looking for a washi by color, sometimes you might be looking for a pattern, or maybe you're looking for something that is, you know, in a particular, like say food and drink. And then these are probably multicolor, but let's see if I can find a better example. If you're looking for like green, this one you could also put in green. You could put it in here, have it under nature. But yeah, so there's lots of different ways you can organize this, and I would say really how you organize it is up to you. It really depends on how you think about when you're going to look for something. That's how you should organize it. So you should, I'll give a list of all the themes and different things that I used here in the description of this video, but I think it's really a personal thing, organization, because it's how you think of things and what works for you. So definitely check out Totally Tiffany's 4-section system if you haven't looked at that video before, because that is an awesome way of thinking about organization. Because how I do it in my craft room is I think about, is it alphanumeric? And if it is, it goes under alphanumeric. And if it is a season or in the calendar year, so say for instance it's a Mother's Day or Easter or Christmas, then it goes into the calendar year or the seasons. And then if it is themed, like it's dogs or food related or travel, it'll go into a theme. And if it doesn't fit any of those categories, then it will go into the rainbow. And so that's kind of my methodology for organizing and trying to figure out where things go in my craft room, is to just kind of go through the 4-section system and just look at, ask yourself the question, is it, alphanumeric? If it's not, is it in the calendar year? If it's not, then is it a theme? And if it's not, then it'll go into rainbow. So that's kind of how I do it. And let me think if there's anything else that I wanted to share with you. I guess if you're going to be adding a new washi, and let me just take one here just so I can show you. I don't think I have this dotted one in there because I think it's fairly new. And I'm going to put it under stripes. But let me check real quick. No, oh, yeah, I do have it there. Okay. Let's see if I have any other ones I'm thinking that are new. Well, for sure this one, because it's not even open. So let me go ahead and open this up. Okay, this is really pretty. It's like a really pretty plaid. Don't you just love washi tape? I just love playing with it. It's fun. Okay, so we're going to get this washi tape, and I'm going to put it down here at the bottom. I just like to leave a little bit of a white space. And then one of the things that I recommend that you do is, if you don't have this palette knife, this is my favorite thing to use when tearing washi. This is really awesome. I mean, if I don't have this and I have to use something else, I'm sad, because this is so fun to use and so easy. But if you don't have this, you can also use a credit card or an old gift card, or even a ruler. I have this little ruler here that I was using before I found my palette knife. This is a ruler from My Sweet Petunia, and it has a pretty sharp edge. So any ruler that has kind of a sharper edge, anything that's like that, you can use. You need something flat and thin. The thinner the better. I'm just going to show you what I do. Is I just put it along where I want to cut the washi, and I put my finger here and I press down hard so that it's not going to come up. And look how easy that is. Isn't that cool? You can make the really clean lines using this palette knife, and it's so easy. So y'all girls out there that do planners, y'all could get one of these because it's awesome. Let's see if there was anything else I wanted to mention to you guys about this video. I think that's probably all I had. Let me check my notes real quick. Yeah, I think I got it all in there. So I will put links in the video for the things that I mentioned in that I talked about today. And that's all I had for this video today. But stay tuned for part 3 and part 4 that's coming up soon. Part 3 is going to be about the Alex drawer units and all the bins and drawer organizers that I use in there to store my washi. And then part 4 is going to be about how to create divider inserts to go into the different bins that will help you with keeping the washi from rolling around. So stay tuned for those videos, and that's all I had for you guys today. So if you like this video, please give it a like. If you would like to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.